Hey guys, welcome to another Anime Kingdom discussion and review. So this one is on Akame Got Kill episode 9. Starts off with some fan service of mine at a hot spring, and I guess she's healing up, from before she was injured. So after she's finished healing up, she then rushes back to everyone so she can start training again. When she finds everyone, she tells like someone, help me train. Then she finds Lebak with Leonia on top of him and Tatsumi with Akame on top of him doing push ups. Tatsumi talks about how he realized, how much energy it takes to use Incursio. And, he only can use the invisibility for like a second. So that's really bad. If, Bellotto was able to use it for so long and he only can use it for a second, so he's got to train. He says he's got to train to use it for a prolonged period, like Blotto did. And at this, mine blushes so cute. She's like, "Oh, he's working hard." But yeah, after that, she asks Lebak why he's doing it too, and Lebak's he says he's doing it since there's only two guys in the group now, so he thought he'd put in more effort. And at this part, what's it called? Leonie's like, good job sounding cool, but you only done half what Tatsumi did. And then at this part, oh my gosh, clueless Akame, she's like, oh, that can't be helped since Leonie and her have a major weight disparity, and everyone is like, oh my gosh, like, and Leonie hits Akame on the head, leaving her a huge, like bump thing on her head. She's just like question marks, like, huh? Doesn't understand. Akame. So the boss then arrives, saying that she's going to the Revolutionary Army to give them the 3 Imperial arms they got from those 3 guys the last time. And Tatsumi's surprised because the axe is super heavy, and he's like, "Oh, you sure?" To which the boss lifts it up, saying, it is impossible to use it, but carrying it is no problem. And Tatsumi's like talking to Lebak. He's like, "She's as amazing of all of you guys, huh?" And Lebak responds, "Well, obviously, she was once a general." And I'm like, "Dang, a general." She then leaves Akame in charge, and you know, Boston says that isn't the only reason she's going. She's also gonna try and recruit more people since they need more people. And at this, Tatsumi apologized, saying he was weak, and that's why what happened with Bellotto and stuff. And the boss explains how they were top figures in Estet's army, and it's true. That was like her top 3 guys, 3 of her best, and they had Imperial arms, and he didn't. So, like Bellotto said, dude, it's very amazing that he was able to survive that. And another thing is now he saved so many people that would have had to face them when the Revolutionary Army has to fight, and now they don't have to face them because they're dead thanks to him and Bulato. So he and the boss says he is strong, and he's done very well, but Tatsumi is still he isn't convinced. Convinced, to which Leone tells him that Bulato believed that he may be green now, but he if he trains rigorously, then he may just surpass him, and he looks forward to seeing that. And Tatsumi starts tearing up, and the boss then starts to leave and says, be proud, Tatsumi, keep surviving, and become the man Bulato anticipated you to would be. We then see S Death putting flowers at the grave of the 3 people again that were in the last episode, and she says they lost, which means they're weak, and it's only natural for weak to be eliminated. And I'm like, dang, what the hell? They looked up to you. They were your subordinates, and that's how you she is bad, but still. And then she also said, she's gonna the only thing she could do is avenge their death. So it's not like she's just like, whatever, who cares, she's going to avenge their death. After that, we then see one of the new people in Estet's group, Wave. He's like this guy that was in the Imperial Navy. He's like a hick from the country, and he was like he's saying like he dressed differently so no one will know that he's he so he doesn't look like a hick. But he also has this huge bag with fishes, and they're still alive. They're like moving and stuff, and I'm just like, what the heck? And everyone on the side is like talking about him, like, oh my gosh, yeah, he's from the country, and he's a hick, and he's just like, huh, you know, what are they talking about? He doesn't realize. I'm just like, ah. After that, he then goes to the room to meet, where his teammates are, and starts to yell out his introduction, and then just sees this guy with a mask just like staring at him. He's like, oh, closes the door, and like, oh my gosh, I must have went in the wrong room. It must be the torture room. And it's funny because then he looks at the paper and he's like, oh no, this is the right room, which means that guy is part of his group. So he's like, hi, and then just walks like to the opposite side of the table from him and just sits down, and he's trying to, just sit there, and the guy with the mask is just like, staring right at him. And then finally, someone else comes in, and it's Akame's sister, and he's like, "Oh, finally, it's a normal girl," you know, and he goes to walk to her. She's eating her snacks, and then he's about to introduce himself. He's like, "Hey, well," and then she's like, "No, you can't have any," and he's just like, "Oh my gosh, okay, she's weird too." Right? After that, Siryu comes in, and he thinks, "Oh, she looks normal," and I'm just thinking, no, she is not normal. She is a crazy biatch. She is crazy. Like, no. Forget her. What she did to Sheila is just. But after that, she throws rose petals on the ground for another person that's coming in, and his name is Dr. Stylish. And he's this gay guy, and he even hits on Wave. Oh my gosh, poor Wave. He's just like, oh my gosh, he's even hitting on me. The last person that comes in, and his name is Ren, to which Wave runs up to him, happy that he's finally a normal person. And it was just like, what the heck? Estet then walks in with a mask, and she like, like, why are you all here? And he's like, hey, we were all invited, told to come here, and boom, she just kicks him into the wall, and then starts attacking Ren, and Ren's like dodging everything, and she's like, oh, he's got good reflexes. Then Siryu tries to jump up from behind, and she just like boom, grabs her, boom, slams her to the ground. And then after that, Akame's sister comes and ching, slashes her mask off, and then they figure out it's S-Death. And turns out S-Death did that because she thought a normal greeting was boring. Really? Poor Wave, you got kicked into the wall. So after that, she said she's going, they're going to a party right after they meet the Emperor. And all of them are surprised at first, like, oh, we're going to meet the Emperor already, But yeah. So after that, Wave is with the mess guy cooking, and it's just more awkward between them again. And then they're talking to S-Death, which, comes up, she's looking for love and stuff. And also about Shilei's scissors, how they have it, and still haven't found someone compatible with it yet. After that, Tatsumi meets up with Lebak and Leone in this secret place in the city, in the capital. And they talk about how dangerous Death is. And before, there was this tribe in the southwestern region that were rebelling against the capital for their, for them being, bad. And the capital sent a force of 120 to defeat the tribe, which had 10,000 warriors. So you gotta feel very, we could take them with just 120, but they were special forces that they sent. But it wasn't as easy as they thought. Between like the land and obstacles, just the environment and animals, all the animals, and the tribal warriors also attacked that, nightly. They were not ready for it. They could not handle it. So after that, we see General Najenda, who's the boss, and I was just like, oh, okay. So she was with S-Death. That's why maybe they have, she doesn't like her. And then going with a group of Imperial arms to fight them because the special forces that they sent couldn't handle it, so they were gonna go. So after that, we then see the cruelty of S-Death, and she just like seriously just her and her group just killing everyone, torturing, not just killing, they're like making them, oh man, it's messed up. and that's also when Najenda sees the capital for its evil and like she can't participate in this. So which is probably why she joined the Revolutionary Army, obviously. After that, we see the minister with the Emperor eating and talking about Death looking for love and stuff, and they also talk about her criteria, what she's looking for, which is she's really looking for a lot. Like I don't know. After that, there's a tournament to find someone for Shilei's Imperial Arm, and Death is watching, and she's all bored watching the fights. Like all of them are boring so far. But then after that, it is Tatsumi versus this huge bull dude, and the fight begins. And Tatsumi just like the guy punches the ground, and Tatsumi he's trying to punch Tatsumi, but Tatsumi dodges it, jumps in the air, boom, kicks the guy. They start fighting. He's just blocking and dodging all of them, and he just beats that bull guy like so easily. He's so much stronger than before. And during the fight, S Death is amazed. She's like, "Oh!" And one of the criteria, that for someone that she likes is, that they have like a innocent smile. And then as when Tatsumi wins, he's like, "Oh, everyone's cheering!" Ding, smiles, and S Death she blushes. And I know she's bad. But I gotta admit, it was really cute the way she looked when she blushed. And you know, the, then she says, we found him, and Ren thinks, oh, for the imperial someone to use Imperial Arm, and then she's like, oh yeah, that too, and then she starts walking down, congratulating Tatsumi, and she's got something for him, and Tatsumi the whole time is knowing, he's mad knowing that if she wasn't here, Blato would still be alive, and all this stuff. He's like, oh, I'll just take whatever she gives me or whatever, and then that's when she pulls out like this collar with a chain, and ching, right onto Tatsumi's neck, and says, "From now on, you belong to me." And he's just like, "What?" And he starts pulling him, and he's just like, "Well, what? Wait, stop! Wait!" And she's just like, "No, I'm not waiting," and hits him and knocks him out. And then she's like, "We could talk in my room, just the two of us." And the Bach and Leonie look at each other like, "What the hell? What is going on?" After that, they're at night raid, and they talk about how Tatsumi was taken, and what they plan to do. And Akame, you could tell, she really wants to go and save him, but they can't just rush in there. It's not that easy. So she's, like they're gonna do everything they can do, to help him as much as possible. And that was the end of the episode. I enjoyed the episode. I give it a 7 out of 10. It was, had a lot of backstory, had a lot of story. We got to learn about, you know, more about S Death, and we got to learn about the boss General Najenda before why she joined the Revolutionary Army. We also got to see pretty cool, fight scene between Tatsumi and that bull guy, showing how badass Tatsumi is even without using, Incursio. And yeah, I enjoyed the episode. So as always, guys, there's also a discussion. So if you want, comment below what you thought about the episode, or if you have a question about it for me, comment below too. And I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion and review. Until next time, Anime Kingdom.